So what's going on with all this emotion and with gold, silver, the markets? So we had a pretty interesting day yesterday. We had a few brokers or trading platforms basically shutting down trading for a few stocks. I know GameStop, that was one of them. I'll mention that name, but that's one that we've had some trading platforms shut down, all trading for that stock. So GameStop would be one of them. It wasn't just like a Robinhood or anything like that. It's a bunch of different brokers that were shutting them down, all trading for that one stock or that one company. Basically didn't want any more trading with it. They shut it down, didn't allow anyone to trade with it on their platform, which to me seems very wrong. Personally, I'm against circuit breakers. Even I think that if people get emotional and can't handle themselves and are not understanding any fundamentals on anything when they put their money in it, what are they expecting? They're gambling. If you don't understand any of the fundamentals behind where you're putting your money, it is gambling in my mind. That's how I look at it. And if you gamble, you're gonna lose eventually. You might have put everything on black the past 3 times and hit it black all 3 times. But time number 4 comes, guess what? You put it all on black and it's coming up red. I see it as gambling, and when people start to speculate in the markets without any knowledge of what's actually happening, and just with the attitude of, oh, well, things always go up. Well, not exactly, and with that attitude, you're making it seem like risk-free reward, which doesn't exist. Markets don't just go up, there is a risk to it, and if you want the profits and everything from that, you're taking on the risk. You could lose. Something that you should be well aware of before you ever put any money in it. Another thing is, for me, I tend to see things clearest when there's a hyperbolic amount of emotion. When there's way too much emotion, well, I know exactly what people are thinking now because it's obvious. There's emotion all over the place. That is when I typically thrive, I find. That's when a lot of people that I know typically thrive. One person who's seen on YouTube here, who is pretty smart, who has a channel that you guys might want to check out, is Piffs. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy, he doesn't do a whole lot of macroeconomic type stuff, but go check out Pittsburgh Fractional Stacker, Piffs for short. Very smart on all this kind of stuff, but I don't know why he's not making more videos on it, because I know he wouldn't rock him out. But I'm also seeing a lot of emotion with silver specifically, not so much gold, but silver. Silver, everybody is asking all these questions. It's gone up a bunch. Oh, is it gonna go back up over? Is it gonna go through the roof? I'm literally seeing things like this. Is it gonna go parabolic? And these are the questions that I'm seeing being asked. It's online, so I'm reading it literally. If it dropped the same amount just a couple weeks ago or whatever, why didn't you take the same view back then? When things could only move in one direction, and then you're using, you tell yourself it just to be comfortable and make sense of everything. Oh, well, it's a long-term hedge, it'll come back and everything like that. But then now it's gonna go through the roof and keep chugging along? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Seems like an emotional reaction to me. We're gonna have some craziness going on in the stock markets, I really do believe. I'm holding off on everything until I get single-digit price to earnings. That is very important to me. I buy in single-digit price to earnings. Period. I don't buy when it's a 11 price to earnings, 12 price to earnings, or higher. Yeah, 11 or 12 might seem low to a lot of people, but I want everywhere I put my money to make me money. It takes me a lot to work for it. I have to work hard for my money. I do not want to I don't want to be speculating it away, basically. I've got a system that I find it works, and that's one part of the system. That's one very important part of my system. I will never buy a stock with over 10 or higher price earnings, basically. That's a very important part of my plan. There's a lot of volatility that will come, and everyone's speculating on inflation and everything like that, and it's funny how we get the deflationary voices silent now, and there's no more debating inflation, deflation like this time last year. We all know inflation's gonna hit now. At least we're all on the same page, but what do you do about it? That's the question. For me, I'm a pretty conservative. I'm not trying to profit off of inflation. I just buy gold. I'm boring like that. I just wanna store my wealth. I want what I could buy today to buy me just as much in the future. I know that upsets a lot of you because there's a lot of people that think gold is gonna go way up and gain purchasing power. Typically, gold gains purchasing power in deflation when things go down in price, which to me says gold is still a great investment, even though you could have had more cash or whatever. You also could have bought Microsoft in the 90s. When you really think about all this stuff, it's just, I'm not going to say, oh, I could have done this and I could have been a billionaire by now. Well, you're not going to live life 100% perfectly. I'm human, so I can't do everything perfectly, but what I will do is I'll put some cash into gold when I see high inflation coming. So, well, I'll put extra when I see a high inflation. I'll put my wealth into gold regardless. For me, I use it as a hedge on everything in the market. I'm not worried about it. I'm insured. I don't worry about my house burning down and all of that. I'll have home insurance. I'm not gonna do anything dumb that will light the house on fire, but I'm gonna be prepared for whatever happens. And then, yeah, it might be a little frustrating, it might be a little stressed, but you're not gonna be just kind of drifting on your own, hoping you could keep swimming back to shore and not run out of energy, if that makes sense, because it's all a struggle of financially, and it's just, instead of fighting the water, you're fighting the bills, you're fighting the inflation, you're fighting all the volatility. I don't want to be that guy left out at the ocean. Hopefully you have enough energy, hopefully you've got enough strength to make it back to shore. Maybe 1 out of 10 people can. No, I don't want to be that guy. It'll be miserable regardless, even if you make it back to shore. I'd rather just have gold. Seems like you might as well avoid the problem before it starts. And for me, I'm not too worried about the stock market or anything like that. I'm not selling anything I have. I don't have really enough to sell. I'm pretty happy. I think if things crash, it's not going to go below where I even bought it. I really don't. So I'm not too worried. I really am not emotional over this at all. I'm kind of surprised to see how much emotion there is going into this, when we kind of all knew you don't tell people that they cannot trade. They cannot invest, they cannot sell GameStop at the peak. These things there's going to be ramifications to that, and I'm curious to see what's going to come next for a lot of those brokers that stop the trading. I want to see what's going to happen next with all the emotion that we've been seeing. And I think that there's going to be some rough times ahead. Maybe not as rough as some may think, but I think it's going to be a roller coaster ride. There's going to be some ups and downs coming. And it's not just going to be downs, it's going to be ups and downs. It's not just going to be ups either, though. But it's kind of my thoughts on today, because I'm filming it yesterday, but yeah, it's kind of a whole lot of emotion right now. Just sit back, think clearly, and try not to act unless you know that without all this added emotion, you'd be doing the exact same thing, that it is a part of your plan. And when there is this much emotion, you better be sure when you change your plan that it is the right move. If you're wondering, I would not change the plan myself, but that's my personal opinion. I'm not a financial advisor, just a random guy on the internet, sharing my thoughts on my journey. And yeah, I'd like to know your guys' thoughts and opinions and everything with what you see going on. I'm really not I'm not buying into, I'm not drinking this Kool-Aid, let's say. I'm just gonna hang out on the side, not panic, not stress, not even really think about it a whole lot or do anything with it a whole lot because I didn't have any plans on anything and I'm not gonna change it unless something goes way too cheap that I have to buy it. That's basically my thoughts right now. Stay positive. See you next time. Thanks. Bye.